As you may already know, ElderWorks is a not-for-profit organization supporting any older adult or senior who has aging questions, needs referrals for assisted living, memory care, home care agencies, or other senior housing options. Our complimentary services are always available to you. Just give us a call at 855-462-0100 or visit our website, elderworks.org, elderwerks.org, where you'll find hundreds and hundreds of articles and supportive material to help you through the aging process. Again, thank you for taking aging seriously and planning for your future needs. Enjoy ElderWorks Expo.
So welcome everyone. I'm Carol Brasso from ElderWorks. I'm the Senior Strategy Director. And we're so pleased to have everybody here today. And thank you very much for supporting ElderWorks and supporting this event that we have. We're looking forward for everybody to be able to visit all the booths for the exhibitors, which I know some of you have already done. We have so many resources and so many things available, and we're here to always help you with that. As you probably know, we're not-for-profit. We don't charge for our services. And we are a 501c3 organization. So we thank you so much for joining us. It's my pleasure today to welcome two people. Without resources, we would not be able to serve you as well as we do. So today we're very fortunate to have Susan Witz with us. She is with Advocate Aurora Health, and Susan is a healthy lifestyle coach and a registered dietitian, even though she passed out chocolate. And also Sue Grossinger, who is Senior Service Coordinator and Senior Services at Advocate Good Shepherd Hospital. I've worked with both of them. I've worked with Sue at Advocate Good Shepherd. Sue will be talking about fall prevention today. So they both are a wealth of information. You have evaluations to fill out at the end, and please give them to Katia when you're going to be departing. And we're here for about an hour, and I think after that will be lunchtime. Some of you have tickets for lunchtime. So go forward with that, and the lunch is right over here, so you've kind of ended up at the right place, I guess. So yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you to Sue, and thank you to Susan. And Susan, go ahead, and I'm going to just step in front of you to get out of the way here.
Okay. I'm so glad so many of you are here, decided to join this session. This is my passion. My wake-up call to wellness happened with
Can you speak louder?
I can. And just raise a hand if you can't hear me, so that I will. My wake-up call to wellness happened just at my 30th birthday in 1969, when I took my first, at the time, $2 yoga class. And I can truly tell you that it changed my life. It changed my health, my weight, my well-being. I was a stressed mom of 3 boys under 10, and this class really offered me everything, and I had such a passion about it that I went on and I got my yoga teacher training certificate, and actually opened one of Chicago's first yoga studios. I had a passion but no business experience at all. I managed to keep it going 13 years until I got my nutrition degree at U of I at 42. And so I've had 40 years as a dietitian over that. Still feeling good, and people say, when will you stop working? And my idea is that work is whatever you don't feel like doing. And I never don't feel, however that is, to come and talk to everybody about the blessings and benefits and the joys of healthy living. And I want to emphasize the fun, delicious part, and not the you better, you should, or else. This is the joy that can come of having healthy years. Now, there are 2 terms we want to think about: lifespan and health span. Lifespan is how many years we live, and health span is how many of those years are healthy years. And that's what we're looking for, right, is to have quality years and compress the rough times into the last few months, days of our life and enjoy functionality and a healthy, interesting life at any age. So the younger we start, of course, the better, but it is never too late to make a change. We can't change our age. We can't change what's already happened. We can't change our genetics. So what can we change is what I'm going to talk about today. And that is to make healthy choices every day, to feel that we're worth caring for at any age. And that's my theme, and I'm focusing a bit on the inflammation connection with diet, because diet plays a role in about 80% of what happens to us or doesn't happen. It's a significant factor in our well-being. So food choices make a difference. This inflammation response is particularly challenging as we get older. It's the reaction in the body when there's an assault on the body from anything. A virus, a bacteria, an injury, an accident, an illness. And all the signs are redness and swelling and pain and loss of function and a red color. And that is a signal to the immune system to send in all the helper chemicals. And that's what we need. But when this inflammatory response goes on past its function, that's what creates the wear and tear on the tissues. The kidneys, the blood vessels, the lungs if we smoke, the pancreas if we overdo the sweets, or the liver with alcohol, sun damage. So these are all things we have choices about. Now I do want to mention very quickly, because this is more of a wellness talk, so I'm not going to focus on what's wrong so much as what's right and what we want to be right. But there is the inflammatory response to, and that is called autoimmune diseases, and that's when the immune system thinks the body's own tissues are the enemy. So anything with an itis, it's arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, colitis, pancreatitis, all of these. And even if you've seen people with hair loss at a very young age, alopecia, which got a big play at the Oscar Award, you may remember last year. We won't go there. But in any case, that's when the body turns on the hair cells and destroys them, thinking that it's some sort of enemy. So those conditions can be managed. And we want to try to avoid all the toxins and things in the environment that we can. So these are the things where we can create damage for ourselves. By not getting proper sleep, adequate sleep at any age is important. Important functions go on in the body while we're sleeping. It's not wasted time, it's repair, all kinds of functions. And then when we allow ourselves to become obese, particularly to a large belly area, we used to think that fat was just a nothing substance that sat there. But we find out that it's actually another endocrine organ, and it secretes chemicals that provoke the inflammatory response. So that's why we want to keep a healthy weight at any age. We know about sun damage. We know about the problems now with drug and alcohol abuse. And unfortunately, drug is probably up to the third leading cause of death in this country now. And that's another tragedy that we're not going into today. We know all about smoking, the damage to the lungs and other organs, and secondhand smoke to other people. You know, I'm an age where my parents smoked, and I had a lot of bronchitis as a kid, inflammation of the lungs. But nobody knew that, really, or they didn't tell you. And then various sources of pollution. But today, I want to talk about the diet. Two things we can control: what we eat and what we think. In other words, the stress we bring on ourselves. And that also provokes the inflammatory response. So now we're getting to the heart of what the problem is with our diet. These are the big ones to try to minimize the amount of processed food in your life.
Is this written out on the sheet, or I'd like to?
It's all here. Oh, you have it.
Oh, okay, so it's, okay.
Yeah, you have all this information.
Okay.
You don't need to
Okay,
take it
write it
out.
down, okay.
Yeah, but if you want to add something to it.
Okay.
So when you have white flour and white flour products like pretzels, like pastas, white rice, the bran and the germ is removed. They have all the nutrients, fiber, and then processed sugars. The lower the sugar content of our diet, the better. Sugar creates a lot of damage in the body, and it's not just for diabetics. So we want to reduce the simple sugars. Some sugar substitutes we overdo, but a few of them are okay, like stevia, monk fruit, and then Splenda I prefer, but I use it in very small amounts. Sodas, juices, these are concentrated sugars. When you have orange juice, you're leaving the pulp behind. You're leaving the fiber behind. I'm not a fan of juice unless it's diluted or added to a carbonated water. You can make a little drink out of it. You want to have the whole food whenever possible, or puree it, rather than leaving all that good stuff behind. The other demon is saturated fat. You probably know, you probably heard about this a lot. That's solid at room temperature fats, the high in processed meats, saturated fat in eggs, saturated fat in cheese. So the idea here is you can always work with a nutritionist. You know, people say doctors don't know a lot about nutrition. Well, they don't know a lot about dentistry either. We have a dentist, we have a doctor, and you can have a dietitian or a nutritionist that will go through with you and make it easy and sort it out. So you don't have to go get a nutrition degree while you're trying to take care of yourself. That's why we're on the planet. And you can always look at eatright.org for all sources of dietitians in your area and their expertise. So we know the solid fats we want to avoid or have in moderation. And then processed food, right? Processed is anything. Orange juice is a processed food. We've left the pulp behind. That is fast food in particular, boxed foods, packaged foods. So we want to have the whole food whenever we can. So now we get to the stuff that keeps us healthy longer. These are foods that actually have a powerful anti-inflammatory effect. Berries are king. Blueberries rule the roost. All the berries you can have. They're antioxidants, they're fiber, they're protective, they may even help lower blood pressure. Now when I say foods help, I'm not suggesting you get off of medications and do beet juice. Right, there are cherry juice, but there are things that can be helpful. And a lot of those things come frozen. So you can get, you can get all of those things. That way there's no waste. The frozen things are more affordable and they don't spoil. All the fruits like pomegranate, oranges, tomatoes, and apples may in fact help keep the doctor away. There are all kinds of good things in apples. What's missing from the garlic onions little slide there is all of the broccoli, the cruciferous family. So eat your broccoli, eat your greens. These are health foods. I probably have a large salad just about every day, and always buying greens. And when my local Jewel closed, and everybody knew everybody, they said to me, "We want to tell you something. You know what we call you? We call you Mrs. Romaine." I was always looking for, do you have any fresh romaine? Do you have this? So I'm probably part rabbit, but I do salads with everything, all the brightly colored fruits and vegetables. Those are your friends. The good fats, olive oil, avocado, walnuts. I choose walnuts now more than almonds because there's a water shortage in California, and almonds require a lot of water to grow the almond trees. So walnuts have marvelous fat. The omega-3 fats in fish, so it's better to have more fatty fish in your diet than fatty meat. Yeah, I think she might have some back here as well. I want to suggest that all the studies in terms of brain protection and heart protection suggest that more of a plant-based diet healthiest way to go. With meat, poultry, all of those things as complementary foods. Right? But the larger portion should be whole grains, legumes like black beans are a superfood. All of that, like garbanzo beans. So you want to go, some people call it flexitarian, partly vegetarian, but less meat, less cheese, and more whole green plant foods. These are the most protective, the most filling, and the most healthy.
Excuse me.
So, yeah.
I had a question. You mentioned it, but it's not on the chart, legumes and beans.
It was left out of the slide. Yes. Yes.
Which thing?
Very important. Legumes, beans, and broccoli, and all the crucifers.
I know, but it's on the
And hydration.
Do you have a cooking method you recommend for things like broccoli in order to contain the most nutrients possible?
I do a lot of microwaving of veggies. Microwave keeps the nutritional value in, or steaming, lightly steaming, or maybe in a stir fry, lightly cooked if you like them very crisp. With a little bit of oil, or even wine, or a broth, something that. Yeah, you don't want to boil the life out of them. Now, I remember not knowing any of this, wanting to cook from Julia Child's cookbook. And I remember her recipe for cream spinach. You boiled the life out of the spinach. You rolled it in a towel several times until there were like just green bits left. And then you added butter, cream, salt. And I'm thinking, is this a dish I want to, yeah, I know. Is this a dish I want to serve to my loved ones? Really? You know, so fresher is better. And I also want to say that when you start eating cleaner and leaner and healthier, the other foods don't taste so great anymore. You go back to them and I'm like, I don't think so. But it takes a little bit of doing to make a shift. So dark chocolate is absolutely the best in small quantities. And as I went shopping, people are out of everything. I grabbed the milk chocolate Hershey Kisses for our little practice, but I suggest you buy the dark. I was a fan of milk chocolate. I converted to dark. And the thing is, it's so rich, and if you let it melt in your mouth, you don't need to eat a lot of it to get the effect.
You don't need what?
You don't need to eat a lot of it to get the effect. And one reason I was going to do this little mindfulness practice is they have found that when we eat desserts, it's the first couple of bites that mostly satisfy. And after that, it's downhill in flavor and uphill in calories. So sharing desserts, bites of desserts, where you savor them. Now when I did this chocolate meditation, somebody said to me, I got more pleasure out of this one mindful bite of chocolate than I got out of a whole bag of Hershey Kisses that I ate mindlessly while I watched TV. So if you're going to eat a rich dessert, please be there. Don't miss it. All right. Red wine. Some people probably shouldn't have any alcohol. Depends on medication, medical conditions. So I'm not prescribing wine to everybody. You should run out and buy a bottle of red wine. But if you're going to have alcohol and it's approved by your professionals, then it's about 4 to 5 ounces for women and maybe 8 or 9 for men. That's the upper limit of anything healthy. Nobody suggests 2 or a bottle per day. Yes?
Can you put in white wine instead of red?
There is a slight HDL raise from all alcohol, but wet reds have the highest antioxidant power. But if you prefer white, then eat a lot of blueberries instead. Pick up your color that way. And if you've ever had a date, they're so sweet they almost hurt your teeth, and you only need one, right? So anything like that with just one, slowly eaten, and you can make your own desserts by blending frozen berries with maybe a little low-fat or no-fat yogurt. If you have to add a little bit of sweetener, it's a delicious dessert. it's really unprocessed. You've taken the whole food, put it together, and made it more healthy. Better keep moving here. So these are your overall nutrition tips that are already in your packet. You know, everything is in the handout. I'm a big fan of planning. The more you plan, the luckier you get. You can't just open the cabinets and say, I wonder what's for dinner, if you haven't stocked them, right? And you never shop hungry, you know that. In any case, smaller portions and eat your larger quantities of food earlier in the day, right? We find out that we do better if we have a longer gap between our evening meal and our next day breakfast. For those of you on certain medications, insulin, you've got to run that by your doctor as to what kind of gap you have between your meals. But we're finding that it's a version of intermittent fasting. And listen, I don't know about you, but my unhealthy stuff happens in the evening. I'm pretty good in the evening, so I figure go to bed early diet. That really helps, and then you get up early for exercise. I'm going to zoom through because I wanted to talk a little bit about stress and the effect of stress and pessimism and all of that can have on our immune system. Definitely not helpful. And when we're stressed, what happens? We tend to eat more junk foods. We don't feel like cooking, making anything healthy. We want to soothe and comfort ourselves. It's usually not healthy. We forget our water. And then we run to a crash diet to make up for all of it. So when you're stressed, it's most important to have healthy food.
Is that any caffeine or just coffee?
Caffeine.
Caffeine.
Yeah, because caffeine has a function. It does help alertness and focus, but it can also raise blood pressure and create other problems. So you need to know when to have your caffeine. But it may be helpful with diabetes and with Parkinson's. I'm not talking about gallons, but there's nothing wrong with coffee and tea. It's what we put in the coffee and tea. So the things that trigger stressful eating, not enough sleep, all of these things are important. I'm going to have you take a look at this because I want to save time for a couple more important things. How do we manage our stress? Stress is not really what happens to us. It's more how we handle what happens to us. So they say in philosophy there's pain, the original problem. And the suffering comes on the layer we add to it by troubling ourselves about what has happened. It shouldn't have happened. Why did it happen? It'll never be any better. This is the form of suffering we bring. The original event is what it is. Now what do we do? How do we manage it? So mindful eating and living definitely helps. Quiet time for meditation, just relaxation. And I teach these to some of our advocate clients, and they're finding, and I've gotten a really good response to people taking time out from their workday, have found that it helps them relax, focus, and have more energy. And then this accepting what has already happened, trying to live in the present moment, that is extremely important. I put in a quick slide here for diabetes prevention because I think it was, you wanted a little bit of information about it. But really, the diet for that is everything I've been talking about. So in one way, it is a personalized version of this one healthy way of eating. It doesn't have to be so confusing from 40 diets. There is a simple path, but it isn't easy. That's the issue. Change is not easy, but it's worth it. Exercise is crucial to manage blood sugar, to manage mood. I'm going to come to my exercise slide, but these are just some tips on how to manage. If there is a fountain of youth, it is exercise. Exercise, exercise. I only put a few, but stronger bones and heart and stronger muscles. Muscles hold us up and move us around. And we want to prevent the frailty syndrome. And that is managing all our conditions, but being too frail and vulnerable to falls, which Sue is going to talk about. So we need muscle mass and strength as we get older, and we can put on muscle at any age. People in their 90s can add muscle. There's no point where you can't do that. And so that's strength training. We know that exercise helps mood, it helps sleep, it builds a social circle because you can walk with people, dance with people, it's friendly, it brings connection. It definitely helps lifetime weight management, for sure. Diet may be the single important factor in losing weight, but it is regular exercise that keeps it off. So we want to say that, I want to say to you, exercise is not optional. It may feel optional, but it is essential to healthy older years. It also helps us maintain our cognitive skills. And I just read, I think it's in the trip today, that yoga practice is as effective in some cases as managing depression and anxiety as some medications are. So there is therapeutic value in exercise, not just physical. Yes.
Hi, I mainly, in my development, we have a big lake, and I mainly walk around the lake. And my daughter said that's not enough.
Well, we could talk maybe after I can mention that, but you do 30 to 60 minutes a day is what's recommended for maintenance. You can do more. That's rock bottom. But here's the issue. Is it, suppose you sit the entire rest of the day. So there's two things. There's exercise and there's activity. Activity counts. Exercise is a more formal, disciplined version. But you can't say that, oh, I did my half hour and now I'm going to sit for 14 hours. So I just want to encourage you to be active. So in addition to walking, you can do other things. And so we want strength, agility, balance, coordination. So yoga, tai chi, walking, strength training, and find things you love. You can have a good time. This is not a burden. I look forward to my life. And before we do our little compass meditation, I want to, health is wealth. It really is, especially as we get older. So we want to nourish ourselves with healthy food, with positive friends and family, with connection, with interesting food for our mind, food for our spirit, food for the body. A positive thinking, optimism is highly desirable. A fellow wrote a book about it, and he said, you know what, pessimists are more accurate. But guess what? Optimists live longer. So I think it pays to put on the rose-colored glasses and see what's good in the world. See what's good in yourself, in your friends. If you want to find out what's wrong right now, you don't have to look very far. I decided I don't want to bring that into my world. I want a world of kindness and connection, positivity and energy, and you can choose that. Someone said once, misery is like a bad stock that you refuse to sell. Sell it. Get rid of it. It's never going to pay off. And hold to this optimism. And so, it is never selfish to take care of yourself. Right? Because with self-care means others don't need to take care of you, but when they do, and you've done everything you can, of course you want that. But you can do for others at any age. And it seems that volunteer activities really help our health and our attitude. So, I want to mention to you before we do this, and I'll explain why I'm introducing this in a quick way. One of my favorite guidelines that I ever read is, you can learn from the past, you can plan for the future, but you can only live in the present. Today is a gift. That is why it is called the present. Are we available to experience and receive the gift of the present? Or are we stuck in yesterday or worried about tomorrow? This whole expo is about planning for tomorrow, not worrying. This is planning. So once you plan, you don't need to worry, right? Once you've learned from the past, no regrets. Take the lesson and move on and visit when you like for pleasant memories. But life is here. It is right now. Every moment is precious. Every bite is to be savored. So that's why I brought this, and you can do this with raisins. You don't need to go for candy, right? So, if you would like to join me and you have your chocolate and you would like to do this, I will invite you. Does anybody need one? Already ate theirs? I want you to come up and get it for me. Now, it may feel silly, so if you're willing to just close your eyes, nobody's looking at you.
You know what I found?
Yeah, thank you.
I found at, Costco, they sell chocolate covered, dark chocolate covered blueberries. And they are so good. You just have a couple, 3 or 4 at night, and they're so good.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. And that is exactly, you can have those in moderation, you know. But I wouldn't keep things you want to eat 40 of at home. Or keep them in the freezer. All right, so this is just a moment of mindfulness. And mindfulness means paying attention in the present moment to whatever is here. So not the next bite, the bite within your mouth. You'll enjoy your meals, you won't eat as much, enjoy. So first look at your chocolate, your candy, and then smell it, unwrap it, smell it, just notice everything about it. Don't judge it. Oh, I've had better chocolate. Don't judge it. And I'd like you to place it in your mouth, close your eyes. Don't chew it. Don't chew it. Let it melt. Move it around because you have taste buds in all areas of your mouth, not just on your tongue. In the cheeks, the upper palate, back of the throat. And just notice, experience the richness, the texture, the deliciousness. And then when you warm it, the aroma from the chocolate wafts up through the back of the nose. And we know that a good part of taste is smell. So you're smelling that, warming that. It's one bite. I think we had shrinkflation with Hershey Kisses. I think it's only 15 calories now. But anyway, you can have a mindful meal occasionally. And just see how rich it is, one little bite of food. And you may throw 4 in your mouth and miss this wonderful experience. So life comes to us moment by moment. Savor the moments. If there is one way you can cheat time, is to expand the moment. Be present for every one of them and be joyful, appreciate every one of them. And that's life extension at its very best. So you can use this at home, tempting foods or delicious foods that you tend to overeat. See if you can just do a few mindful bites and keep the fun things in your life. No need to get rid of moderation. Anyway, happy to have so many of you here. If you have questions, I'm not sure of the time. Oh, so wait.
Yeah.
That's right, I'm not alone. I probably went forever.
I'm
Here, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I got 20 minutes, guys. This is normally an hour presentation, so I'm going to try to get to the point quick, okay? I handed out, and I'm going to take off my mask so you can hear me. I handed out the presentation highlighting some things that I felt were really important. I'm going to talk about fall prevention real quick. But some of the things that Susan said, I highly agree with, and you'll see that in this presentation. Fall prevention is a combination of things. It's not just doing one thing. It's not just exercise. It's not just putting down proper rugs. It is figuring out in your life what has made what your fall risks are. I'll give you a perfect example. In my adult life, I have fallen downstairs 5 times. My husband says I'm a klutz, okay? Well, what were my fall risks? As I am from Good Shepherd Hospital. I am a master trainer of a program called The Matter of Balance. It is a national fall prevention program. And when I became a master trainer in 2012, I had to take a look at myself, so I didn't come to class and tell people I fell. I had to look, what am I doing that I have fallen down my stairs this month? I am not that much of a klutz. So I realized, okay, there were 4 things that really put me at risk. And most of the time I fell down the stairs, the top of the stairs to the landing. One time I fell down the 3 stairs into my garage, and that was cement. So first thing I realized, what am I thinking about when I'm about to go down my stairs? Am I thinking about going down my stairs? No. I'm thinking about, like, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. What am I doing at work when I get to work at 7? What am I gonna have for breakfast? How am I gonna get the dog walked and make sure I get to work on time? Number 1, I'm not paying attention, not paying attention. Number 2, did I turn the light on? No, I didn't turn the light on. Why not? Because I don't like when the light switches are not proper. It's a little OCD, everybody. So I don't want to turn my light switch on because then the switch on the top of the stairs is up and the one at the bottom, or vice versa. So I realized, okay, no matter what, I have to turn my light on, whether I like it or not. I got rid of that. Number 3, I only have 1 now, but I had 2 big Akitas, 100 to 110 pounds. What are they doing when I got up? She's awake. Oh my gosh, we're gonna eat. They're around me, okay? I'm worrying about what they're doing. So I realized I gotta kick them down the stairs. They gotta go first, all right? And then number 4, I think I realized that I might not be looking at my stairs when I'm walking down them. I know when I fell from my back door into the garage, I was looking at the driveway. The garage door was open, okay? I wasn't looking at the stairs. So since 2012, oh gosh, that's 10 years, I have not fallen, knock on wood. There's a few other things that I do now that I know prevent me from falling. I hate spiders, okay? I have a vaulted ceiling in my bathroom, okay? If there was a spider up on the ceiling, what would I do? Okay, I'd climb on the bathtub, I'd climb on the counter, and I'd kill that spider, because what if it got in my bed eventually while I was gone? So now either I make sure my husband kills it properly, he tends to dab it and then it goes flying and it runs away. Smush, and I want to see the carcass. But I do not. Also, I used to have pots on my cabinets. I have 10-foot ceilings in my kitchen. I used to water them. What would I do? Stand on the kitchen table, stand on the counter, and water them. I don't have those up on my counter, so I don't water them. So there are things that I do that prevent me from falling, because even though I'm not 85, I don't want to fall, maybe be out of commission for 6 weeks, maybe something more serious, all right? What happens is sometimes we do things that we think are preserving our independence. I've got to do it myself. I'm independent. Guess what you're doing? You're putting your independence at risk. So a couple things I want you to know on the front page. 30 to 35% of people 65 and older fall each year. Those who fall are 2 to 3 times more likely to fall. And 1 in 5 falls cause a serious injury. Why is Advocate, Good Shepherd, and all the other healthcare systems in the nation worried about falling? Leading place for falls, for hospital admissions, it's in your home. Okay? We have to think about, what are we doing that's putting me at risk, all right? Injury age statistics. This one I loved when I found this out. Over 50% of people who come to the emergency room with a trauma related to falls, not 85 and older, 55 and older. okay? Yeah, I fell down my stairs starting when I was in my mid-30s, when I was carrying laundry, right? To go down the stairs. What do? Causes of falls, we can prevent them, all right? That's the big key. If you come into the emergency room with a fall and a trauma, we can't give you a pill and say, oh, go take this pill, go home. You won't fall again. We can't do that. It's our responsibility to think about, what can I do? I want to stay healthy, I'm going to eat well, I'm going to exercise or increase my activity. No matter, it's not what you do, it's not that you do, we're not asking you to go run a mile, it's what can you do, all right? And I'm sure Susan knows this. I had a dietitian at Great Shepherd. She said, guess what? Sometimes we don't eat enough protein, maybe? Okay? Protein, what does that do? It feeds our muscles. What does the muscles do? It feeds our strength. What does strength do? It helps us to balance. You can't balance if you're weak, right? So that's why we talk about nutrition, we talk about activity, walk, stay active, don't sit. You don't maybe don't have to do all the exercising all day, but stay active, all right? There are risk factors, 2 or more risk factors that interact, cause a fall. Maybe poor balance, low vision, and home or environmental factors also play a role in 50% of all falls. So I like to say the sun, the stars, the moon was all in alignment, and you went, okay, what if you took the sun out of the equation? All right, what if you took the moon out of there? So every day, seriously, every day of my life, when I get up, now it's dark out now, right? It used to be light out, it's dark again. So at 5 o'clock or 5:15 when I'm going down my stairs, every single day, I stay in the moment. I'm present. Turn my light on. Tell my dog, who's 107 pounds, go down the stairs, I'll meet you down there. And I make sure that when I'm walking down those stairs, I am paying attention. Right then and there. I have to do it every single day, because one day I don't do it, I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna miss those steps. Yes, ma'am.
I think one thing you too is not carry anything down, because I fell with my hand.
Yes.
And
So if you have laundry, what do you care if your laundry gets messy if you throw it down the stairs? Or you have it in a bag and you kick the bag down, okay? Who cares? It's dirty laundry. So carrying things, correct. There are modifiable risk factors, there are biological, physical things, behavioral. Maybe you take more than 4 medications. Maybe I call it risky behavior. That's what I did. Was my behavior was risky. Or inactivity. You're not active enough. Environmental, clutter. How many people have clutter? Okay, I'll tell you a quick story. My husband and son both. My son wore a size 14. My husband wore 12. My husband wore a size 14. Every day I came home, the shoes were there. So I got them to put them away by the entrance. My son's 35, he doesn't live with me anymore. But my husband, he puts shoes, his side of the bed is right next to my dresser. I can't open my dresser, and he's got 3 pairs of shoes next to the bed, next to my dresser. So I said to him, put your shoes away, okay? He goes, but what if there's a fire? I go, are you gonna put 3 pairs of shoes on or decide which one you wanna wear if there's a fire? So actually, I've gotten him to put them away. I'm working on, there's a chair downstairs in the family room. I'm finding 2 or 3 pairs of them. So clutter, put it away. Find a good way, a place to put it. Majority of falls, they occur during our routine activities. Answering the phone, getting the mail. Clutter, pets. Pets may not see us either. As they get older, so do we. And so make sure you do that. And Susan talked a little bit. Inactivity, it results the loss of muscle strength. If you don't have strength in your legs, how are you supposed to balance? So there are activities. Yoga is awesome. So is my dream when I retire is to do, what is that, Tai Chi on the beach. Okay, that's my dream when I retire. So do some exercise. It's as simple as marching. Okay? Sidestepping. Why would we sidestep? What is important of being able to allow your body to do this and not lose your balance? Why?
Jump mobility.
Okay. Which direction do we follow most?
Forward. To the side.
To the side. That's why, well, head trauma, that's the biggest injuries, severe injuries, traumatic brain injury. Hip fractures, because you're falling to the side. How many people know somebody or themselves, they were, oh my gosh, I'm running, I'm late, I forgot something. You turn and you lose your balance. So just even holding on to a counter and doing a simple exercise such as sidestepping. I'm using my quadriceps and my hamstrings. Important. Feed your muscles. Keep your body active. Try to stay as strong as you can. It's really important. There's poor vision, medications, nutrition, gait and balance disturbances. You might have osteoarthritis or osteoporosis. There are some important things to always keep in mind. Plan ahead. Since I was in high school, that's what I do. I put my clothes out I'm gonna wear. I'll be honest, I'm 63 years old. I still put my clothes out every single morning. Because guess what? I don't want to rush. I don't want to stand in my closet worrying about what I'm going to wear, and then I'm 20 minutes late because I got to get out of the house by 6:30. So you don't have to put your clothes out the night before. But plan ahead. Keep a telephone nearby. Cell phones, awesome. Keep it with you. All right? My dad used to walk around his retirement community. It was in a forest preserve. There was a path. No one knew he was out there, okay? I'm like, the deer are not gonna call 911 for you if you go down. So we made sure that he had his little thing on, and he would always tell the desk that he was going for a walk. It was very important. Clear the way. Yes, ma'am?
I have the iPhone watch.
Yes.
And when I fell, it said, it looks like you took a fall, do you need help?
Yeah. And that's fairly new. Those, I'm not sure about the Android phone, the Samsung, if it does it also. They're a little, so if it's not too expensive for you, yes, the phones, the watches do that. It can tell that you've lost your balance. You also can do emergency response systems that are starting to have large, wider broadband where GPS, where they can also see that. Clear your way. I had a woman who took a class, a matter of balance class. She came, and what happened was she came because she loved to knit. Well, guess where she put her knitting basket? Right next to the chair. What did she trip over and fall over? Her knitting basket. So she found an alternative to get it out of the way so that she didn't fall and she could continue. Pets are difficult to see at night. I have even though my kids are 30 and 35, I have a nightlight in that bathroom. That was my kid's bathroom. So because I have a big 110-pound dog, but he's like dark. I need to be able to see him when I go up to get to the bathroom, okay? So pets can, and also pets, I've had people come to class that got taken down by their pets because their pets aged with them. Yeah. And one woman came with 2 black eyes. Because her dog saw something.
A squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel! Yes. And took off and took her down. So those are issues as you age and your pets age that you might have to start thinking about, changing how you care for them. Get help if you need to clear walkways, clutter. all right? People fall going outside, all right? To go to the mailbox, ice, whatever. Clear it. Get somebody to do it for you, all right? Again, don't put your independence at risk because you think you're being independent. We're not independent. We live together. We're there for each other, okay? Ask for help. Use non-slip mats in the bathroom, bathtub, showers, grab bars, anything. Night lights. I'm a big fan of night lights. They have them now that are motion detectors. You could literally have an air strip down your hallway, and as you walk, it comes on. So if you have to, do that, all right? If you want a little one, my dad hated night lights. We played for 5 weeks. I would put the night light in. I'd find it the next weekend on the counter. Put it in, find it. It went on for like 4 weeks because I used to pick them up to take them to breakfast every Sunday morning. And I go, Dad, why aren't you using the night light? I like it dark. At the time, this was like 12, 15 years ago, I didn't realize there were motion sensing night lights. And I used just regular ones that you turned it on. So you don't like it light until you get up, use the motion sensor ones. And just tread carefully. Don't use throw rugs. Why are they called throw rugs? Because they throw you. If you need a rug, because it looks beautiful, make sure it is secure, that there's backing and it does not move, okay? But if you use an assistive device, rugs are not good. They're gonna send you, all right? Throw rug. Same with shoes. Flip flop. Why are flip flops called flip flops? Because you flip and you flop. So no more flip flops. If you need something secure, better shoes, use that. Again, sturdy footwear. We don't wear these shoes anymore, do we? The high heels, no, we do. Alcohol, remember, can make you unsteady. You have to have your glass of wine, do it before you go to bed. Phone a friend, have daily check-ins with people, all right? You check in with your friend, they check in with you to make sure, or a family member, that everybody's doing okay. And then exercise. If exercise, you have to enjoy what you're doing, okay? So walking is wonderful, but what Susan said is if you go for your 30-minute walk and then you sit the rest of the day, that's not so good. Kind of break it up. All right, one of the things we do in our Matter of Balance classes, we show people different exercises you can do sitting or standing. If you don't like doing 20 to 30 or 50 minutes of exercise, break it up. Do 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, 10. So it might add up to 30 or 40 minutes. And it doesn't have to be on the treadmill, okay? We're not saying that. Some people have started exercising when they were young, and so they do that high impact or cardiovascular exercise. And they've been doing it for 30 or 40 years. They adjust it as they get older, all right? Exercise is walking. That is awesome. But take a 30-minute walk. Do another activity. Maybe do some chair exercises. Does everybody, why are the ankles important? Anybody know? Your ankles are the most important joint in your body for balance. Because guess what? They, as I'm walking, my ankles are telling my brain if there's anything I need to worry about. If your ankles are stiff, you're not flexible, because you've lost that flexibility over the years, your body, your ankles are not going to get that response to your brain to make that accommodation. And so ankle, sit in your chair. I do this on airplanes because I worry more about, like blood clots and that. Do your foot circles. Flexes. Keep those ankles flexible. Okay, very simple. Simple. Marching. Okay, you could even, if you're on, holding on. The other thing, podiatrists love this because this works on your Achilles. All right, lean forward, hold on. Keep your back leg, your ankle, your foot down on the ground and stretch. Just do some stretches. So you might do 30 minutes of walking, and then maybe during the day, you're gonna go to your yoga class. And then you'll go to your Tai Chi class. Okay? And then you're gonna do some stretches that you learned in your class, because the classes are only once a day, okay? But they are gonna teach you things that you can do at home, all right? The yoga stuff is very similar to what we do in a matter of balance. So, what I want you to realize, and I know we're done because you wanna go eat, I'm always up against lunch. Plan ahead, exercise or increase, change up your activity level. Take your time, please take your time and pay attention. Ask for help. Help is not a bad word, all right? Use night lights. If you need grab bars, great. They can help people in the shower. Avoid the throw rugs. If you have to have rugs because they look wonderful, make sure they're secure and they don't move. Wear sturdy shoes. No more 3 or 4 foot heeled shoes. And no more flip flops. I hate to tell you. I know it's hard for me to give them up. And set realistic goals for increasing your activity. If you say, okay, I know I'm gonna go work out 5 days a week, 45 minutes each time. Are you gonna do it? No. Start slow, work your way up. Do things you enjoy, because it's more important that you do it than what you're doing, okay? Do it, do something, increase that activity level. Stay strong, all right? Power through. And then I also handed out to you some just the home safety and fall prevention tips and a hazard removal checklist. You know, I know it's hard to remove stuff or to rearrange, but the home is the #1 place where we fall. So kind of go through your house, make it safe. Okay? It'll be well worth it. And pay attention. Because everyone will tell you if they fell, oh yeah, I fell, I wasn't paying attention. Me too. So that's my words of wisdom to you.
Well, I just have to say a little words of wisdom because, you know, now you have like squirrels leaving their little shells all
Yes.
over. I get out every morning and I sweep the sidewalk because I know that you could just easily step on that, the ankle twist
Yep.
and the stuff.
Yeah.
It's an activity too. Well, yes, I'm constantly.
And if you like to garden, keep gardening, but maybe bring a chair with you to help you get up because the ground is uneven. Stay active, okay? And enjoy lunch. Have a great rest of your day.